Palace insiders speak out. William's shocking plan to strip Harry and Meghan of all titles. Can you even believe it? Welcome back to my channel. It's getting hotter than ever here in California, but the real heat seems to be coming from across the pond. This story, buzzing on social media, sounds absolutely fierce, doesn't it? Now, I know it's from a tabloid, and sometimes you have to take those with a grain of salt. But the quotes circulating are, well, they're pretty aggressive, and they raise a question many of us have been whispering about for years. The line buzzing around is that Prince Harry has been formally axed from the line of succession. Now, let's just pause there for a second. Really? I mean, really? That feels a little too aggressive for me to fully believe right now. Honestly, if that were truly the case, I'd be hearing about it from my friends in London non-stop. I wouldn't just be stumbling upon it online myself. So let's put that specific claim aside for a moment, shall we? But the bigger story, the one that feels, well, sadly, more plausible, is this idea that when Prince William becomes king, Harry and Meghan are going to be stripped of their royal titles. The report claims Prince William plans to flex his muscles, a rather aggressive image, isn't it? And wipe his wayward brother, Prince Harry, and his power-hungry wife, Meghan, from the history books, according to a source. Behind the scenes, the source claims people are saying the royals have quietly sanctioned the title removal. Now, taking away the HRH, their Royal Highness or titles, that's largely a proclamation the monarch can make. We've talked about that possibility before, haven't we? But the Sussex title, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, that, my friends, requires an act of parliament. Think of it, a formal law debated and passed. That would be drama, absolute drama. But as someone said, the palace is reportedly already conducting secret meetings with government members to discuss putting the plan into action. We've discussed the topic of stripping their titles so much over the years on this channel, and for good reason. Remember, the Sussex titles were a gift from Queen Elizabeth II, a gift given to two people she believed would be working for her, representing the crown, upholding the values of the monarchy. And let's be honest, they certainly aren't doing that today, are they? People often say, but it was a gift. And yes, it was. But it was a gift with an expectation of service and representation. When they chose to step down as working members to pursue careers in Hollywood, to, well, sell jam and maybe flower confetti, the question naturally arises, should they still hold titles meant for those who serve the institution? My colleague, Hugo Vickers, who is a brilliant royal historian and someone I get along with very well, he's often on this channel, actually doesn't believe Prince William will want to be bothered by something like stripping titles once he's king. Hugo thinks William will have a much bigger plans and won't want to waste time on Harry and Meghan. He thinks William might just totally ignore them. And perhaps, in an ideal world, that would be the case. But I think it's also about the principle, isn't it? It's about the fact that their mother, Diana, lost her HRH title after the divorce. And while that was a different situation, she was still a working member for a significant time and a much-loved figure. Yet, her title was removed. So, the argument stands, if Diana's HRH was removed, why should Harry and Meghan retain their titles after actively choosing to leave royal duties and, well, monetize their royal connections? Frankly, Brooklyn Beckham and Nicola Peltz hanging out with Harry and Meghan, and the tabloids trying to make that a story or some kind of Fab Four recreation. Please, as I said before, if that particular quartet was in an elevator, I would absolutely refuse to get on. I would wait the 12 floors, or 24 if it's a round trip. I might even take the stairs. I would not get on an elevator with any of those people. That sounds like a miserable conversation, doesn't it? Four people trying desperately to stay relevant. To me, it's just not interesting. Not a scandal, just boring. And let's address another strange claim in this article that a British court stripped Harry of his state-funded security when he visits his former home. That is simply not true. We've covered this extensively. His security wasn't stripped. It's handled on a case-by-case basis by a special committee. So that's the first, frankly, blatant error in this particular article that makes me question the rest of it. Do they even know the definition of formally axed or stripped? But back to the core issue, the titles. I know some people feel sorry for King Charles, especially now with his health struggles. And frankly, so do I. I'm screaming from the rooftops. This man has cancer. Let's leave him alone. And I think about the king constantly. I pray for the king's health. And I say constantly that I think he's got an incredibly soft heart. And sadly, that soft heart has not done him any good in this whole scenario with Prince Harry, because I do think Prince Harry is taking advantage of it. He knows he can push boundaries, perhaps try to manipulate or guilt his father into something because of his nature. And that's why the king, I believe, is wisely distancing himself to ensure Harry doesn't have that constant opportunity. So, what do you think about the titles? Do you believe they should be stripped? This is a constant conversation in the royal watching community. But every time the topic comes up, with every new interview, every new project selling products based on their royal status, it seems to me to be increasingly justified. Meghan was just talking about being in the trenches recently, a frankly ridiculous comparison for someone living in a mansion in Montecito. Harry continues to go after his family, even on major interviews like the BBC one we discussed weeks ago. Again, old news in the grand scheme, but part of a pattern. That is why this conversation about titles is starting to recirculate, because their actions continue to undermine the very institution that gave them those titles in the first place. At first, when they initially stepped down, I wasn't fully on board with the idea of stripping their titles because there were so many accusations flying around and you needed to see how things played out. I was afraid they would weaponize the removal against the royal family, claim they were being persecuted. But now, after several years, after so many of those claims and accusations from their side have frankly been proven false or at least highly questionable, I think people are smarter now. They are more privy to Harry and Meghan's agenda. And I don't think people would be as upset. I don't think you'd see as much pushback or lashing out from the public or the media as you would have several years ago. The public has seen enough, heard enough. The damage they've done to the brand, the relentless criticism. It's clear they are a liability to the family and the institution. So yes, I do really think they should be stripped of their titles. Prince Harry is always going to be a prince by birth. But Meghan Markle, she worked for, what, 17 months as a working royal? And is just milking it to the bone? Girl, let it go. The titles are a symbol of service, not a commercial trademark. To wrap this up, while the report of William actively plotting secret meetings might be tabloid fodder, the underlying truth is the conversation about stripping Harry and Meghan's titles is very real and, in my opinion, very necessary. Their continued actions demonstrate a clear intent to distance themselves from royal duties while simultaneously capitalizing on their royal status. Retaining these titles while actively undermining the institution they represent is a contradiction. The principle of service, the integrity of the crown, these are what matter. And sadly, Harry and Meghan's actions have made their position untenable. Stripping the titles would be a clear message about the responsibilities that come with them. Okay, my dear Royal Riffraff community, I truly want to hear your take on this. What are your thoughts on Prince William's alleged plan and whether Harry and Meghan should keep their titles? Do you think it's time? Let me know in the comments below. Your opinions are always so insightful. If you found this discussion thought-provoking, please give this video a thumbs up. It does great things for the channel and helps spread the word. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you're always in the loop for our next Royal Deep Dive. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Until next time, keep calm and carry on. And let's see how this royal drama unfolds.